In the past few years, there's been an explosion in AI and machine learning and all these new frameworks that people are using to analyze data. And it sounds very machine-oriented, but one of the important elements that's left out all the time is the human element. You need people to actually analyze the data and tell the machines what to do. Rentlogic has developed a rating system for landlords, buildings, and property management from A to F that tells renters what the quality of a building is like. There's such low marketplace transparency in real estate in general, but in New York particularly. Using AI and taking all the data that's out there and connecting it and analyzing it, we can actually paint a pretty clear picture to renters about what it's like to live in a place before they sign a lease. Government agencies have an amazing wealth of data, but two agencies that are even part of the same city aren't necessarily talking to each other. Rentlogic looks at lots of different inputs, from information from the Department of Buildings, which usually has a lot to do with code and structural issues, to the Department of Housing Preservation and Development, which has to do with quality of life issues like mold, bedbugs, roaches, to the Environmental Control Board, which deals with asbestos and lead. And when you piece all this information together, it shows you crystal clear patterns of what an A landlord looks like and what an F landlord looks like. We're really interested in fires, for example. Is a fire something that's random, or is something that it can be predicted? And we were also really interested in catastrophic fires, where there's a loss of life involved. We got all this information, we started to analyze it on fires and locations, and we ran it against our building set. And we saw that the year 1932 kept popping up. We found out that the building code was different then. There was copper wires used, different dimensions on hallways and doorways. So that was actually the leading variable for catastrophic fires. The second was illegal apartment conversions, where an apartment is supposed to be a one-bedroom, but it's hacked up into a two-bedroom or a three-bedroom. The fire marshal might get there and is expecting one thing, but it's something completely different. And so what Rentlogic really is a way for cities to put housing enforcement on autopilot using algorithms and machine learning to identify the bad actors. You'll hear someone got in an elevator and the cable snapped and the elevator hit the ground and there was casualties involved. Every time that happens, we look up the building in our database and they're always F buildings. I think like now we're starting to get, especially in New York City, that the government is starting to see, look, there is a way to enlist the private sector to work on these really complex problems. As these tools and frameworks become more developed, that you're actually going to be able to use it to save lives, and AI and machine learning and algorithms are going to have a huge influence on how all that comes together.